Today, I'm going to be going through the Microsoft deliverability crisis and how I plan on getting through this crisis and still sending and booking emails for my clients. Today, I'm going to be going through basically 12 different split tests I ran by myself for my own campaigns just to showcase what it actually looks like with actual hard data. And then the next thing is I'm also going to go through the smart lead breakdown because they ran a pretty comprehensive breakdown for people. And I'm going to go through that now. So let me change this. And if I go here, so this is the Smart Lead LinkedIn post, which is basically they have a smart delivery test. And all this is it's here to test, like actually test inboxing. So when you email someone else, it'll actually test if you inbox with that particular person. So the overall inbox score was at 31% out of 1 million emails. That's really bad. Um, like 31% of people only seeing your email is not something you want in this day and age. Like you want more, ideally 70 plus. So it's just one of those things, and I'm going to be showing you kind of what I'm doing to, I guess, counteract this. 49.44% of emails ended up in spam, which is insane. You just can't let that happen. And the numbers like after this kind of make sense as to why the numbers are so high. And remember, these numbers also indicate people that aren't quote unquote professionals. Like even if you buy Smart Lead and you buy domains and you set up all your records, like there's a lot of stuff in this that people don't genuinely understand. So this is just one of those things. And yeah, so this is the average transfer score is 2.64 across all scenarios. So if I come here, so this, I'm gonna see if I can zoom. Can I like big screen this? Oh yeah, I can big screen it. Lovely. Yeah. Maybe I probably should have done that. Now you can see bigger numbers. Right. So how the different scenarios work. So Google professional auth to professional Gmail. Inbox rate, 68.59%. Now that says a lot. That means you can inbox with Google at 70% nearly. That's really good, to be completely frank. Google professional auth to professional Outlook. 15% inboxing rate, 73% spam rate. So that's Microsoft doing Microsoft things. They're just enjoying stiffing people and just landing in spam. Like imagine no, 3/4 of your email landing in spam when you're sending a normal email. Again, this isn't factoring in the fact that people aren't the greatest at this, and there's a lot of people sending links to emails, maybe some images, maybe tracking open rate. There's a lot of like variables, but like even across the medium of a million emails, like this is crazy. Um, the Outlook Professional auth to professional Gmail is a 40% inbox rate, so it's a bit higher. And basically, the Outlook Professional auth to professional Outlook is a bit lower, it's 17%. So as you can see, this is not ideal. And as you can see, any words with Outlook inside of it, Outlook, Outlook, basically don't work. They seem to just not work. So and then others is when you're not using either Gmail or Outlook. So that's like Zoho. If you're running like Titan, maybe like I could kind of rattle them off. If you're running your own SMTP, and I'm pretty sure this also includes Proofpoint and Mimecast. So Proofpoint and Mimecast are basically enterprise softwares to like for cybersecurity softwares to stop people from getting scammed by I guess scammers with links and stuff. And all that is it basically blocks everything. So that's one of the other things you have to see. And as you can see, Gmail has the yes, Outlook to Gmail, Gmail to Gmail, Outlook, and then other. And then this is the spam board. So if I go over to my data here, so on my end, I basically I send a lot of emails on my end, and this is just a quick split test just to see what the numbers actually look like. And it looks like a lot of gibberish right now. But basically, I ran 3 campaigns, or well, 12 campaigns, 3 different segments of Google inboxes, private IP1. So this is basically me setting up my own private IP and sending to people seeing how the inboxing looked. And then private IP2. And I didn't even touch Outlook for this because, to be completely frank, Outlook isn't a sending platform I use often, but I'm looking to integrate that now. I'll be running more tests, but because I'm using the enterprise Outlook kind of servers now to see if they actually help. So I'm working with a vendor for that. And then, so okay, so if you look here, right, inboxes to Microsoft. So this is Google inboxes sending to Microsoft. I sent 1,000 emails. I had 0 replies. Like this isn't a brand new campaign, right? These are warmed up inboxes, and like these are split tested against other like these other ones, and you'll kind of notice. So these are the exact same inboxes, split tested. I got 0%, a 1% bounce rate. So like I got nothing out of 1,000 emails. This is literally like this is basically, I don't want to say impossible because it happened, but with other, like, you would literally have someone telling you to like go away, unsubscribe. You have people telling you this stuff, right? The next thing is inboxes to Google. So this is me sending to Google. Wow, that was tough to say. Jeez. 775 emails sent. I got 8 replies and I got 12 if you include out of office. So that means I got a 1% reply rate or a 1.55% reply rate, depending on how you look at it, if you include out of offices, and a 5% bounce rate, and which is a 0.65%, which is nothing. So like the leads of this are fine. The bounce rate's fine. And then the total positive replies was 4, so I was getting a 50%. And it should have meeting booked here, but I ran so many campaigns I actually wasn't able to track it because across these 12, I just did not. I wasn't able to track it. So basically, Google to Google uh, is currently outperforming Outlook by infinity because you can't and multiply anything by 0. Is all I'm saying, right? Basically, inboxes to other. So other is, again, we talked about this, is basically Zoho, Titan, anything like that. And I also split apart Proofpoint Mimecast, which is the cybersecurity, so like you can see the data. And this is inboxes to other, which is 321 emails sent. I got 3 replies and 4 including out of offices. So this isn't, I didn't send that many emails for this one because there's not that many using that. And a 0.93% reply rate and a 1.25 with the including the out of office with a 5% bounce rate. So from what I can gather from this, when I was looking back at the data, like 1.56 is still lower than what is recommended. So usually it's 2 to 3%. It's kind of lower. You're not really looking at the 1.56 mark. Like that's fine. But when I look back at the data, I actually left in a lot of other security softwares. So there's like Barracuda. There's like Private Inboxy or something. There's a few others, and there's a lot of them, but the main ones are Proofpoint and Mimecast, and I basically left them inside this other pool, and I think that's what attributed to the bounces, because across the board the bounces are kind of like pretty low, except for here, which I'll have to go into as well. And then one positive reply, I'm pretty sure, even though I know that I said I wasn't able to track meetings, but I'm pretty sure that turned into a meeting. I'm not sure if I closed them. We'll have to see though. And then inboxes to Proofpoint Mimecast. So Google is inbox or sending to Proofpoint Mimecast, which are based off Outlook. So Proofpoint and Mimecast are on top of Outlook, the sending platform. And I sent 190 emails. I got 0 replies, and I got 1 out of office. So I got a 0.53% reply rate. So as you can see, it works. This stuff kind of works. Even though I did only send 200 emails, but realistically, I'm not even going to try target these guys unless I have some sort of way of actually inboxing. I'm following all best practices. It's not something that just kind of like works like that. So next on the, oh yeah, so I got a 1 bounce, which is a 0.53, blah, blah, blah. So that's fine. Next is the private IP, whoops, which is private IP1. So IPs, this is basically me buying my own IPs, and I just set up inboxes on the IPs. So I'm the only person on it, and I basically control what goes in and out of the IP. So IPs to Microsoft, I got a 0 total replies, and total replies including out of office, which is 0. Um, Honestly, really impressive, guys. Again, this is figuratively impossible unless you're landing in spam the whole time. And yeah, I think I was landing in spam the whole time. So again, I got nothing. I got 7 bounces, 0.82, which is just below, obviously. Like, it's fine. Then digital marketing, part 3. So this is IPs to Google. I got I sent 1,200 emails. I got 26 replies. I got 38, including out of offices, which is really good. Like, this is really good, and I'll theorize why this did so well. So I'll finish this off, and I'll tell you why I think this did the best. All right. So the total replies is 26, which again is really good. It's a 2% reply rate, right? And that's like usually you're looking at 1 plus, hopefully, anyways. And then it's 3.3 if you're including out of offices. And then it was 5 bounces, which is 0.4, which is literally nothing. And I got 8 positive replies from this. This definitely turned into a few meetings. I think I closed someone off this. Again, I I kind of I send a lot of emails. I have a hard time tracking this. So this did really well. And then next one is digital marketing, which is IPs to other. So this sent, again, this is kind of similar, which is 241. I had 5 replies and 7, including the out of offices. So it's 2% and then 3%. So again, the numbers are really good. Like, to be completely frank, right? They're really good. Other than this is very distinct, but we have 3 bounces 1.24, so it's a little bit higher. And I do think, again, that might be because, actually, yeah, I guess it just bounced. Sometimes it just happens, I guess. And then proof point Mimecast, this is 194, and I actually got 2 replies out of this, so I had a 1% reply rate, and then total including out of office is 2. This is, honestly, I got 1% reply rate, and again, so I'm gonna say this, right? The reason I think this did the best out of all the campaigns is because this IP I bought was 8 months old. It was literally 8 months old. That is, it's just one of those things where when you have an 8-month old IP, it has been warming for 8 months, has the best reputation known to man. It doesn't matter what domains you stick on it; it's just gonna work. Like, it's just gonna rotate over. It's just gonna work. Like, so that's what I'd recommend. If you can get an IP that is extremely aged, let it rip, because this booked a lot of meetings. And then the lastly is the private IP infrastructure for inboxes. And this is the final one. So this is IPs to Microsoft. I sent 600 emails, 610. I got zeros across the board again. This had a higher bounce rate. And I'm trying to figure this out myself. Um, Frankly, I'm not 100% sure what the back end is, and I need to figure out what this looks like. But this isn't great. And this just leads me to believe that I should probably stick with Google, just because Google's working right now. And so this is across the board is low with a 7% reply rate. It's insanely high. Um, and I shut this off after I noticed it. Reason being is I may not have noticed it in time. The next one is I sent about 3,000 emails here, which is 23 replies and 38, including out of office. So it's a 0.81 and a 1.34. With the amount of bounces, to be completely frank, these numbers are quite good. I am surprised with a 8% bounce rate. I'm able to get this many replies. Truly, I'm so, yeah. And this got a 5 total positive responses. I'm pretty sure I booked a meeting off this as well. Again, I'm just doing this off memory. And then these two, so I actually got an out of office for this one, for the proof point Mimecast. And then with the IP2 to other, basically this worked off. Yeah, so I sent 100 emails because there wasn't that many. I was trying to like split them up between the 3 campaigns. And basically, like, these were doing like kind of like a 1% reply rate, but like the bounce rate is so high. So that's the next thing. Right. So what are the takeaways from this? What can you do? So Google to Google and Google to other. So like, if you can see, I might make this bold and make this bigger or something. I don't know. Yeah, sure. That looks nice. So Google to Google and Google to other is your go-to. Like, Google right now is just cooking. Like, it's just chef. Like, if you're a Michelin star, you're just chefing, right? Because you're just gonna inbox like crazy. That's just how this works. So, like, going back to this, how do I make this big screen? Like, if this doesn't give you all the data you need, like, this is all the data you need to say Google to Google is the stuff right now. So just send Google to Google. The next thing is Google other also works well enough. Where is it? Other here. So we're getting a one. These stats should be higher, truthfully. So Google and then Google to other, which is fine. These will work, right? Just remove Proofpoint and Mimecast from your vocabulary, unless you can figure out a way to inbox with them. But just remove it from your vocab. The next thing is IPs. So this is IP1. This is IP for me, anyways. And Google to Google and Google to other. And in IP2, I'm going to completely avoid other. And I'm also going to fix the bounce rate, which is extremely high. And this is only going to be sent to Google because I actually got some strong responses. Well, strong enough responses, anyways. And the takeaway from this is I don't see Microsoft labeled anywhere on this. Literally anywhere. Guys, where do you see Microsoft? I don't see Microsoft. So I don't want to see, I'm not sending to Microsoft. I'm not using Microsoft to send. I'm not using anything like that to send. The only thing is, recently I've been in cahoots, in talks with someone that is, they work and they run around and they do basically Azure Enterprise IPs for people. So I'm going to see if I can set up with them, which I kind of already have. And when I get results on that, I'll see. I'm going to run more split tests after that. I'm going to run the exact same split tests and I'll just add it onto this. So these are Azure Enterprise IPs, which are based off Microsoft, which is funny because we're just talking about not using Microsoft. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm gonna run split test where I send to Microsoft, to Google, to other. I'm going to use the exact same script. So there's going to be no change. There's not like no changes at all. Brand new domains. Everything is going to be the exact same. And I'm going to see if I can actually inbox with Proofpoint Mimecast, run other, do Google and do Microsoft, and see if it actually makes a difference. Because if it does, and if the numbers actually show tangible data, I'm gonna run with that. So that's what it's looking like. So that's my little data fest over. I love data. Everybody that runs cold email should love data because it just gives you everything you need to know what a campaign is and isn't like running and isn't working. And yeah, so look, if you are a B2B business owner and you run an agency of sorts, and you want to send 30 to 50,000 personalized cold emails a month using AI, there's a link below that you can use to maybe book a call with me, and maybe I'm going to see if we can help you out. Otherwise, subscribe. I'm going to do more content like this. Just nice talking content. See if I can be entertaining. But look, goodbye, and have a good day.